Hey, dear friends, welcome back again. We are so happy you popped over again to see what we are up to today. Of course, for everyone who is new here, welcome. We are Janny and Dyanne, and we hope you enjoy what you see. And if you do, of course, we hope you take a little bit of inspiration with you. For everyone who is here and is not subscribed to our channel, we hope you will click the red subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and tick the bell so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. Like we always say, enough talking, let's jump in today's inspiration.
Hey everyone, it's Diane here with a brand new DIY. Today, let's grab our tumbling tower blocks again. For the ones new to our channel, welcome. And yeah, these are the blocks that Jenny and I use. 45 pieces, bought for €3 online at a web shop which sells party supplies. And since this is a game which you could play on a party, they sell it for €3. And then you get blocks which are this size, 5 centimeters long, 2 centimeters wide, and they're pretty good to work with. In the past, Jen and I used larger blocks from a shop called Action. That is a shop here in the Netherlands, and it also exists in Germany, France, Belgium, and several other countries, I believe. Anyway, they have bigger ones for €3, and then you got 60 pieces, so 6 a package. But they don't sell it anymore, so we switched over to these blocks, which are also really good. Sometimes they are a little bit greasy, and then when you gotta glue, which we, by the way, do with this wood glue here, then it won't always stick. So yeah, that happens now and then. Just add some more glue if you're happy, if that overcomes you, and re-glue it again, and then everything is all right. The wood glue, also a very important object that we need in our DIYs. This one is bought at Action, and I believe the whole bottle costed €2 or €3, something like that. I don't know the brand, if it's Dutch or not, I have no idea. Patex. They also had caulkins and everything. Construction stuff, but also wood glue, which I like to work with because it's cheap and the bottle lasts long. Only, yeah, thing that I regularly forget is when you get that cap. You can put it in here. I always forget to put it back on. And then a nozzle might get stuck. It isn't stuck now, but it's stuck last time that I made a DIY because I just forgot it. And then the glue dries up, and then you can grab yourself a needle or anything sharp to just scrape it out so you can reuse the glue bottle again. Good. Enough talking. We're going to make something for Christmas in July. Well, let's grab some leftovers. I have 4 of these blocks and 2 of these double ones because I made a DIY last time and I miscalculated, so I made a little bit too much of these. So these are already glued, perfectly usable for a DIY, and these ones are leftovers. So time to open up a new package. Always like to use the scissors to cut this thing open. Now we get the hardest part. This stuff is so tense, you can't. It's a real struggle to open this up. This is how they arrive, in plastic, and I like to use the can as some sort of trash bin, but that's optional. So I'm going to assemble all my trash, put it in the cardboard thing, in the box, and then we can throw it away. Now here comes the satisfying sound of tumbling tower blocks. I have no idea why, I just like that sound. Okay, we're going to build a snowman, and made out of these tumbling tower blocks. We start with the head, because I want to know if we want to make the hat, not the hat, but the hat, how large can that thing be? If we need, is this a nice hat, or is it too long? I think this is also a little bit too big. This should be a nice hat. This will be the size of the hat, so that means we also need a head that is 3 blocks. Or does that look weird? Do we need the hat to be a little bit larger, like this, and then the head 3 by 3? Let me take a proper look. Or does it look really weird? I think it looks more realistic, because if you're having a real hat, that thing isn't the size of your head either. If this is your face, then the hat isn't that small. Yeah, this is a little bit cartoonish. You can also do this, but I really prefer 4 blocks and then 2 horizontal, and then you get a face of 3 blocks wide, which means we can already start gluing this. Now, let's grab our glue, and I like to glue as following. Just flipping all the parts that need to be glued, except for the first or the last one in the row. And then you grab your wood glue. This stuff is white, but it dries up transparent. You don't need that much because the adhesiveness is superb. There. And the last one. Now, close the cap. Let this dry or set in for a couple of minutes. What you can also do to divide the glue better is take these two, rub them gently against each other, and then you get evenly spreaded out glue. Also works with these ones. Why do I do this? Well, sometimes, like with me every time, I use too much glue. So by rubbing these, I try to divide a little bit better. So when you push something together, then it won't pop out, if you know what I mean. I'll let this set in for a couple of minutes. Why? Because then I think that adhesiveness is a little bit better than when I directly glue everything together. But that's my opinion. If you have different experience, or you sure be using other kinds of glue, do what works best for you. Try to experiment a little bit with that. Let's wait, and then we'll be back. Okay, think about it a couple of minutes. And you see it already drying up transparent. So let's get these things together. I'm not pushing real hard though. And here I made a mistake. I glued this side as well. So I'm not going to do it like this, because then the glued side is outside, but I want the glue to be in. There. Then we take 2 blocks and push everything this way together. And here you see that glue popping out. Now I'm going to align everything by doing this. And also these two need to be outlined and pushed together. You can just gently wipe with your finger if any glue peeps through. No big deal. Let me take these over there. And what with the hat here, I'm going to build the body of the snowman just by adding a little bit more blocks. If this is the head, then I think we at least need 4 blocks for the body. However, maybe this will do as well. Let me see. So that we take 3 and we add 1 on each side. How would that look if we add some more? And just gently place them against each other, like so. Oops. Don't have to do it completely the way I do it, of course. And yeah, I think a layer extra isn't a bad thing. Then you get really that much. Yeah, maybe it really does look like a pyramid now, doesn't it? What if we just turn these clockwise, and we take these and add 2 blocks? What would this do? Just layers of 2 and an extra row. Well, maybe layers of 3 and an extra row, because this looks pretty weird. Does this look a little bit better? No, I don't think so. That's more like a Christmas tree. Yeah, well, switch back to what we thought in the first place. This way. And this as well. Here. Then we go to 3. And then 1 on each row. And also this. I think then we have 1, 2, 3, 1 extra, 1, 2 extra in each side, and 3 extra on that side. That is what I think a perfect base. However, I'm not completely satisfied with how this looks. Because I think when I do it like this, it will be too flat. You know what I mean? Then you get that cheap signs, or at least in the Netherlands they're cheap. Really cheap signs, which a flat purpose here, and a sign over there, and that's it. I want something more extraordinary. What can we do more? Maybe we need to let's just wipe it all away and restart. If this is the head, why don't we do something like this? For the body. Or maybe this way is better. Or is that not flat enough? Or is that too high? Because then we can also just make it work out like that. Yeah, well then you get the thing that you need 1 extra block. Okay, this is harder than I thought. I had it in my mind like I'm going to do it this way, but it still feels awkward. What if we just make the head a little bit bigger? Just like so. We'll sort it out with the hat, no problem. That we make the hat like this, because then you get a real, you know, snowman standing there. And if this is the head, I'm going to make double ones. Yeah, I think this will be it. Double ones for the first part of the body. So 3 wide and 3 up, which means we need 2 more of these. And then 1 layer extra because we have 3 stacked upon each other also on that part. Now it looks more like, you know, we put some effort to it. Oh yeah, I also had those glued together parts for later use. Like this. Oops. This. And now we put the hat over there. Know what I mean? And then we can put our hat maybe like that. Is it now too big? Or not? Or we can make it levitate a little bit. Oh, you can see it. Of course, we can make it levitate a little bit like that by not placing, yeah, only something at the back, some sort of spine at the back. And I think we should do the hat like this. No, not like this, like that. Because then you get that more of 3D effect, you know what I mean? Now it looks more realistic like a hat. So let's put that away. Let's see one time if I'm happy with it. Yeah, this is our head. So we need a lot more gluing work to do, and then this will be the body. I'm going to put everything else out because I first want to glue these layers together. So let's grab our glue again and do the same gluing trick with all of the blocks, also on those that I just did with the first part. Sorry for that brainstorm moment. I had it in my head like I'm going to do it this way, but it didn't work out, so we're going to do it differently. I'm going to speed up the gluing part for you because you already know and I explained everything I did. So see you soon. parts of the body are done, the head and the middle part. Now let's see, I had these two here. What if we make 3? Would that be a logical way to, well, then I need to put these here too. I'm just going to build and see how it looks. If we don't like it, we're just going to do it differently. But I think that we top up 1 extra block on the side, then we'll be there. And of course we need several on the top here too, because we made everything out of 3 blocks. Anyway, it's going to be a heavy snowman, but it's going to be really steady. And that's a good thing, because then you can also put it, even if you want to, on your patio or in your garden. But I recommend that you use a really good spray paint that works for outdoor use. Let's just carefully put these on top. Does that look okay? I think it does. Just try to do it with the hat. Oh, there's a car honking outside. No idea why, but what do we think of this? Or is it too wide, the hat? I actually like having a big hat. You can also, oops, place it a little bit, you know, like that for a more playful look, but that's a later thing to do. Well, I think it's a good idea to do the body part like that, the last body part. So that means a lot more gluing, but no problem. We got our action glue here. Let's go. Okay, I think it's time to start building the snowman. First I thought about let them levitate those body parts here in between, but they now became pretty heavy, so I'm not going to take that risk. I think the easiest way is when, of course, the glue is dry enough, just glue the parts that need to touch each other, and then gently put them into the right place and let everything set in. I have no idea if this is completely straight, but I try to do my best to keep everything outlined. Let me check. I can check it if I put blocks here and there to see if those lines of these things are straight compared to these ones, but I'm going to do it at the back because I can't see it at the front. Well, I think we can be happy with that. Now I'm going to let this dry really well because we don't want a ruined snowman. And if I see it like this, compared to the hat, I think we... Oops, wrong section. Carefully move it forward so you can see it as well. This is a pretty cute scale, but I think 1 extra layer on the bottom is nice. But I'm going to try it myself to see if I like it that way. If not, then we're leaving it this way. But you can always add an optional layer. That's completely fine, of course. This extra layer is something that I like, so I'm going to realize it. Gluing time, I guess, once more. Then I put everything upon each other and let it dry for at least 1 hour. And it's now about 25 degrees Celsius here. No idea how many, what's that compared to other metric systems. Anyway, it is nice and warm for Dutch standards, so I think the glue should be drying within an hour, but you can always let it last longer if you want to be sure that everything sticks pretty well. all the blocks are dry. Now I want to paint. Therefore, I just use this normal plain white paint from the construction market, which I just stirred, and a brush from Action. We like to use this paint from our local construction market because the coverage is really good and it isn't that expensive. Before I used paint from Action, but I wasn't so happy with the the coverage, except for this one, the blackboard paint. And also the spray paint was really good, but that was a mess to paint with, and this is actually much cheaper. And I believe this whole can costed 15 euros, and this small one is 6 euros. Look, really big. Anyway, this coverage is also really good, the blackboard paint from Action, but that's for later use, not for now. Also like to paint the hat in the same time, and therefore I use the blackboard paint. Now hopefully I can still open it up, because that is sometimes really hard because this stuff is thick and gooey and sticky. But we are there. Okay, what to put this? I think here. Well, let's go. Mr. Snowman has his hat, and now I want to go to the details, and therefore I have the following. These wooden peg dolls that I got from Action. They have various sizes, and I thought this one here might be ideal for the nose. Well, not in this color, of course. We're going to do something different, and I also have these 3 wooden buttons which go from big to small, and I thought it was a fun idea to put the big one here, and then the smaller one here, and the smallest one will be on top here on each level. But we're also going to give them a new color, and therefore we need the following. We need beeswax, and this stuff is wonderful because it gives wood the really nice worn color that we were looking for, and it's also great for distressing, which I might do as well here. It keeps the whole project rustic, and that's exactly what I like. But this thing smells pretty bad. Well, not bad, pretty strong. So make sure that you ventilate your room well when you're using this. And yeah, it also stains in your clothes, so wear old clothes. And if you're using brushes, I recommend using the same brush every time, or a piece of cloth or something, because you can't get it out of your stuff. So I think now we're ready to go, right? Time to apply the buttons and as well the nose. I didn't, by the way, the back part with that glue, wanted to say, the beeswax, because when you use beeswax, stuff doesn't stick so well anymore. There, just in the center. Now we have one smaller knot. Go in there. And the smallest. Over here. Now gently push them into the right place. And then we gotta do the nose as well, in the middle of the face. There we go. I think this is it. Starts to look more like a snowman now. Next step is giving this thing his eyes, and therefore I'm going to use a permanent marker. I want to make real cute eyes. So, well, let's see, where shall we put them? There. And there too. I'm not such a good painter, so that's why I like to use the marker. I'm going to carefully draw eyes upon this thing. I think it looks pretty cute with his eyes. Hope you can see it. Here's what it looks like. I still have to wait because the glue isn't dry yet, so I can't pick it up. And after that, we're going to do the last decoration. Now, I believe it is ready to turn up. The glue is dry. I think it looks super cute, and I really love that the buttons have various sizes. However, I still need some decoration, and therefore I want to use this fluffy velvet ribbon. Costed €3 once from our garden center, and I thought it was a nice idea to, that's why I have the glue gun here, put something here and also make some kind of, yeah, well, where shall it be? Somewhere like here, but then a little bit different with a scarf. But however, I'm still in doubt if I'll do, yeah, this is a nice place. Maybe I'm going to wrap it several times and only glue it at the back, because if you're putting hot glue on this stuff, you can see it right through. And maybe I can glue some, you know, parts like the knot from the scarf here. But we're going to cheat for that. I will show you. First, I want to do the part around the hat. And therefore, I'm going to, whoops, glue it right behind the visible part. Now I do need my scissors too, because I want to pull it tight and then let go. Oh, you can't see it, sorry. It's still here. I glued it here on the back part. Now I'm going to cut off a part, pull it tight, and then just over here, carefully add some glue. Now we're doing the wrapping. Wrap and then hold for a few seconds so the glue can set in and dry. And there we have the front part. Now for the scarf, I want to lay it down because I can't see it properly how I want to have it. Anyway, some piece here. But do we want to have it tight around the neck? Or do we want to have it a little bit more playful like this? And I think this looks super cute too as well. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it that way. Okay, so we'll repeat ourselves. Grab the ribbon. Add some glue on the back. And that we're going to carefully wrap around the back of its head and push. Don't burn your fingers with this. I want to see, where shall we let it end? I think here. Is this a good idea? Nope. Maybe we can use something to let it lean on. The back part isn't so beautiful, but that's no big deal. I'm not going to see it. Okay. Now let me check it on the front once again. This is fine. Oh, with its nose. Grab some glue again. And we're going to wrap and do the same thing. Oh no, I can't see it. Wrap, hold, and you're good to go. Now, maybe I want to add some difference. I'm going to cut off pieces. This thing is annoying. The spool is going its own way every time. Do we want to have as well a part here, or maybe a little bit more there? That also looks cute. I'm going to add several more layers, maybe here and also there, to make it look more like a real scarf. Now, Mr. Snowman has a nice scarf, and I have a really big spider web here. Now I want to make it look more like a scarf, and therefore here I would like to add a false knot. So I'm going to cut this part that I had into just by using the scissors. If you have a double printed ribbon, you can just skip this step. Otherwise I would have had this, and that's not what I like to see. Okay, now the point is that you gotta be really careful, and I like to use scissors for this without having that annoying spider web. Yeah, now it's gone. Add some glue on the top of your ribbon, and I'm going to lift the ribbon, or the two ribbons, that is up to you. So I can fold this underneath, press, and let go. I'm going to do the same, but then in between. So there we go again. Grab the glue gun, add some glue. Don't wait too long with this. Scissors, lift the fabric, and then you can just also with the scissors let it slide underneath. Now you can leave it this long, or you can just, if you want to, cut it off a little bit. That is totally up to you. Personally, I like longer parts. You still need to trim it, otherwise it's going to completely ruffle up. There and here. Oh, okay, yeah. This is going to be in the trash bin. And optional, you can glue these in a natural way down to your decor, or just leave them hanging like this. Well, we're almost there. The snowman still needs a nose, and then we're going to distress it a little bit, maybe with just to add some of the edges with the beeswax. But first I'm going to grab myself a marker. I'm going to put points, dots where I want the edges of the map to be, and then the center, and I'm going to make dots here in between. That's how I do it. That's my way, but you can do it your way. Here, now it really's got a smiling face, can't you see? Okay, as I said, we're going to distress. Actually, I should have done this before I put the scarf on, but I totally forgot about that. We just take our beeswax brush again. Then we take some of the beeswax, and I always try to dab it off in the lid. Then, what you're going to do, how I like to distress is not this, but just holding the flat side of the brush and then distressing just a little bit of the edges. And once you think, oh well, there we go. Once you think you're ready for it, you can always just put your brush that way for a little bit more dramatic look, or just shove it back and forth. That works too. You see the difference. Well, the edges are distressed. Let me turn it over a little bit. And I still want to do some distressing here in the center. And that, I found that always the scariest part. Well, let's first add some wax to our brush. And then just give it a great dab. I always use the lid because that comes with the jar. And actually, I like it pretty much. I'll try, yeah. Let's just lift this here. Where's the edge here? Going to gently brush with the angle of the wood. So not turning it like that, just go with this flow here for a little bit more roughened up edges. And by doing this, you can really see that you create layers with your snowman. Let's do the same thing here. Just very lightly. Always add a little bit more distress than later. Gear its face here. Can use some extra wax. Okay, and let's lift it again. Here as well. You can gently shove back and forth if you like. By doing that, you really can get the stuff, the wax, in between the corners. Let's not forget the bottom part either. Here we go. Just a little bit more roughened up than it was. There. Here, just adding a little bit extra. You can do this up to your choice. Actually, I'm in doubt if I really want to distress here something in between. Let me just test it. Okay, I think it looks cool. But I'm trying to stay here at the lines of the bricks, of the blocks. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cute. As I said, you can style it completely up your way. I'm not going to overdo it today. That's not what I want to. Actually, the best way is to start on the edge and then work your way in. Because by doing that, you can't just really... Yeah, I don't know what I wanted to say. Oh, you can't do it like, oh, I have a really big part here distressed in the center, and then you gotta go to the outside, because outer pieces of objects are always more distressed, because that's mostly where they touch something at the best. Okay, well, I think I'm going to leave it this way. I really like how Mr. Snowman looks, but I realized that if he wants to stand up, he's missing arms. And we can easily do something about it, because I still have these branches here if they want to come up. Here. These were from parts that I used for my winter tree, but I have so many that I can use some extra for decorations for the snowman. So if you're... I don't know where I bought them. I believe a garden center, but it must be more than 5 years ago. You can easily take these off. There. And then you have really those sticky stick arms. Look, it really looks like a real branch, but it isn't. I'm going to grab scissors and then I'm going to put them into the right place. These are a little bit too big, but of course you can also just use smaller parts. Like cut something off. And that is where the hot glue gun comes in, because we're going to glue them on the back. And then Mr. Snowman has some arms. Mr. Snowman has his arms, as you can see here, and on that part. Well, I also want Mr. Snowman to have some decorations upon his hat. And I still have these berries here that I think I can use perfectly. And maybe I can also use some of these Bristol cones from a Christmas garland. Well, first let's make it ourselves easier. I think that cutting off these with the sticks, like so. Here you got that stick with the berry on. Makes it much easier. Oh, the glue gun is going to drip. Not on my parade, boy. And this makes it much better and easier for us to apply our berries on our object. I think 2 should do. Now let's see how we can combine it. I like that there is something upon his hat. Maybe 1 or 2 of these in a different color, something like this, with Bristol cones. Let's see what we can make out of that. You can also just cut off the Bristol cone and make it a smaller part. That works well too, but you're gonna need 2, of course. Well, let's say we start with this size. Just cut. Look, and then if you put this here and a berry here in front, you already have really a Christmas touch to your object or DIY. So let's apply without spider webs, please. Thank you. This part here goes there. So We grab our glue gun. And then I'm gently putting it into the right place. If you want, you can use, for example, scissors or finger protector to put it in place while the glue is drying. That was really important with the arms, otherwise the arms that stood up like that will go down like so, because the glue wasn't hardened yet. Now let's see, how will this fit in? I think I have to cut off this part, otherwise, yeah, that's good. Otherwise it will be way too high upon the hat. Now let's use a nice dot of glue there. And there we go. Mr. Snowman has now a decorated hat. Here is the final result of the day. Let us know in the comment section what you think about the snowman. Easy to make for every occasion, and especially for Christmas in July. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Bye everyone.